Hey, this is HQ. I always forget to turn that part off because I like hearing it. I don't know why. Just like hearing that. Hey, everyone. This is HQ of HQ Reacts, right? Today was a different show, or we wanted it to be a different type show in which we talked about marriage and we sort of went over some of the things that occur in marriage or we read letters. I wanted to read a letter or read letters regarding marriage and things people go through in the marriage, and then see if we can discuss it at some point. This show won't be as long as a normal show because we haven't really advertised as wanting married people to be on the show or wanted married people to join the show. So I don't know whether they would or they wouldn't, but we do have the marital show in which you can call in, and the show and the number is 470 400 5959, right? And that's the number we have for people who would like to come and call in and let us know what marriage they might do with what scenario we might come up with, right? I mean, we really wanted to stress on this show how important marriage was. And we know marriage is important for a variety of reasons, personal, social, cultural, legal, economic, all kinds of reasons that people get married. Most of us say we get married because we are in love and, we want a husband or wife and we want somebody to be with us. But there's different reasons why people get married. I mean, why marriage is important. You want somebody to be emotionally connected to, personal commitment. Marriage symbolizes that for a lot of people, the deep, long lasting commitment between two people. I mean, it offers emotional security, companionship, all of those things, mutual support, which is why people should get married. Okay? It's a public declaration of love between two people. At least it's supposed to be. Many cultures, our culture, marriage is seen as a level of maturity that we reached. Brings families, communities, people together in celebration of these two people who have made it to the altar, right? But then again, there's other people who get married because of legal reasons, those kind of things. I mean, rich people get married for inheritance, taxes, access to health insurance, and people, I didn't know people did that, but bought green cards. I mean, there's a lot of variety of different reasons why people get married. They want to raise children together, have children together. There's a lot of reasons why we do it. It's important. Okay. And the most important thing is it makes you view yourself as a fully functioning, capable adult in today's society. But not everybody needs to get married. Some people you choose to just be in long-term relationships, or they belong in poly relationships, as Zeus say. Because everybody can find sustaining relationships in different dynamics. Okay, they just can. It just is what it is. And we ask ourselves, and today we ask ourselves, a lot of us ask ourselves, right? Are we ready to get married? Are you ready to be somebody's wife or somebody's husband? Knowing when you're ready to be married involves a lot of things that you have to go over in your mind. Practical readiness, shared values, partners. But you do have to know yourself. You have to have a very clear sense of self about your identity, what goals you have for the marriage, what values you bring to the table. But you also have to be comfortable being by yourself. And you're not trying to seek a marriage to complete you, because you're already a complete human being. But these are whole human beings I'm talking about, right? Whole human beings. A lot of people get married and they're not whole human beings because they don't know how to communicate openly, talk about the feelings, the needs, the wants, the desires that you have. Okay? Able to handle conflict, able to handle arguments, able to handle your temper. And before you get married, things like having kids, religion, career goals, money, all of these things need to be talked about before you get married. But one of the number one things people don't talk about is the boundaries that they have, or personal space that they need to maintain. Okay? But these are one of the most important things. That you trust and respect the person that you get married to. Hey, Ann. Hey, Ann. Trust is consistent and earned over time, not based on blind faith or something. You respect each other. That's the most important thing. One of the most important things is to respect your spouse. And supporting other people is even bigger. You have to support someone's dreams, their hopes, their wants. I remember making a video a couple of days ago about choosing marriage. People don't choose marriage. They just decide to get married. Because choosing to get married is different from just deciding to get married. Choosing everything that comes along with that marriage. Choosing the ups, the downs, the bads, the goods, all of it. You invest 100% in being married. And then you look at all the options that are available and you discard those and you choose that one avenue, because marriage is the only avenue. Not get married and if he messes up, I got to leave. Or not if I get married and she gets on the internet and puts herself on the internet with a bikini, then I won't be married. Those are not choices to be married, not to stay married. But being married doesn't mean you have to be perfect either. Nobody is perfect. Nobody said that. Everything is not figured out. But you are willing to do what you need to do in order to stay married to another human being. That's choosing. 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 You have to really think about that word. Are you choosing to be married, or are you just going along with the relationship because it seems like the natural conclusion? Have you chosen to be married, or do you still think there's some other grass that's greener on the other side? Have you decided to put all of your eggs in the one basket, and that person also puts their eggs in one basket, and you guys ride it out together? That's choosing to be married. A lot of people always have these qualifiers or these caveats or these side thoughts. Well, maybe if he doesn't, or if he does, right? So the whole point of this married show was so that we could have married couples who could chime in on real life scenarios that we get from people, and see how a married person would solve such issues, or a married person would go about giving advice. So it's really about people who are married, who want to be married, and scenarios that are real life, real worldly dynamics. Okay, I'm gonna read you one, right? And you tell me what you think. This is one. Oops. We have been married for 13 years, he and I. Right out of high school, we met and married not long after that. I am 35 and he's 37. About 8 months ago, we went out to eat with our children. My two oldest children, 12. My oldest child wanted to walk around the restaurant. My husband started getting so frustrated and leaned in with an aggressive voice telling him to stop standing up. You can't just walk around the restaurant for no reason. This is what my husband said to my son. But he was getting so agitated and angry, it felt like people were watching us. So I told him to calm down and stop talking to our son like that in public. My husband was more worked up now and said, "Don't tell me what to do." He turned to our boys, our two sons, and said, "Your mother would be nothing but a minimum wage hairdresser if it wasn't for me." I just grabbed my purse, got up, and left. The next day, he apologized, but I really think it's the straw that broke the camel's back. I work a full-time job and have completed the repair on my credit. I manage all the household income and make sure everything is budgeted correctly. He earns more than me, but nothing out of the ordinary. He brings in 80K. I bring in 60K. Honestly, I am cordial to him, but I'm not interested in spending my life with this man anymore. I guess I'm asking, what should I do? Wow. So this is a real life letter from a woman. He said, "Your mother would be nothing but a minimum wage hairdresser." And I say there has to be other things going on. Okay. I would ask, can you live without this person? Then I'd ask if I want to live without this person. Then you should have your answer. This attitude that he made you or you wouldn't be anything without him is disgusting. And me, I would leave immediately. It's almost unforgivable. But I wanted married people to chime in, because married people have these scenarios all the time where a spouse says something unforgivable, where a spouse speaks maybe rashly or uncontrollably. I was married for like 30 years, right? But I don't think I heard that. I don't think I heard that, right? That is someone who doesn't have respect for his wife. Absolutely doesn't have respect for his wife in front of his children, because he's grooming those children not to have any kind of respect for the wife. It's nasty altogether. So how does she navigate this kind of marriage? I say there's other things that have been going on. This is just one of the most embarrassing ones, in front of your children and in front of a restaurant full of people. So what does she do? What does a married couple do? A lot of people, religious, might say, hey, she needs to stay married. She needs to tough it out. I say, where did the respect disappear to? When did you last have the respect? and then I'd sort of do a, what is it, examination of that relationship from that point on, because somewhere along the way she lost. So yes, it's very important if this is a one-time thing. But see, here's the thing, Natural. It could not have been the first time, because nobody goes from 0 to 100 just that day, on that day. There's something that has been going on for a while. And I wanted to, find out, what were the thoughts? Did you think this is something that could be fixed? Who thinks such a relationship can be fixed? And why do you think this marriage can be fixed? Okay. I say no respect means no love. Did he say it out of frustration? Or was he just overwhelmed that day? Some people say things they don't mean. But here's the thing. When you choose to get married, you try to tailor something in you before you say what you say. And I'm saying, for him to go completely all the way to disrespect required them to hit other markers along the way. Nobody gets a free pass for saying those kind of things. Okay. Grown-ups who are really into their marriage and who want to continue to keep their marriage and stay married would never think to say those kind of things. Right? And this young lady, I would say, if a person says this, then the relationship is doomed already. Okay? The relationship is doomed already. Who does not think their relationship is doomed? Who thinks this can be pulled back? Who thinks that? I don't know whether it could be or it couldn't be. I'm not saying it could. I'm saying there's an issue before he said what he said. Right? That was one letter. This is letter number 2. My husband is a liar about big things, about things that aren't important too. For some reason, he can't ever tell me the truth. Ooh. Hey, Jay. Did you want to remark about that first letter?
That's a difficult one, man. It's a lot of stuff that could have preceded what happened there, man. Because you got to remember, like we not perfect, men, women. We not perfect in a relationship and stuff. And sometimes you hit a breaking point, and you say stuff that it might be on your mind. Like everybody in the chat got stuff on their mind,
right,
that you don't let come out your mouth to family, to friends. It don't matter who, at the work site. And at some days it might be pressing on you and it might slip. And you might mean it, but you didn't mean to say it.
So how do oh Lord, money, Buddha. How do you have that on your mind? No.
It's a lot of stuff that, come on, man, like
you say you wouldn't be ish if I wouldn't have picked you out of the laundromat.
Yeah, people say cruel things. I'm not saying he's right at all. I'm not saying she should forgive him right away. But the context of what he said versus whether or not the marriage is going to last is two totally different things.
So you think a marriage can come back from someone saying something like that?
Absolutely. Marriages come back from way worse than that. Marriages have come back from people having kids on the other person. Not saying you should do it, but it has. Each individual relationship is its own.
Mm-hmm.
and only each person knows whether or not they're willing to put up with whatever their spouse is dealing with.
So are you
So
saying
if
so
this
you're saying this happened, whatever, so how would you repair it if it was said to you? How would you
it's going to take a lot on his part. This is not going to be like, oh, I'm sorry type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, babe, I didn't mean to say that, and then move on to the next thing. This is not one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
This is you. It's actions speak louder than words. You're gonna have to show me, and you're gonna have to show and prove over time, consistently,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and make up for something like that. Because that's like, but for that comment to be on your head, and that's the way you feel, is a lack of respect for one, for her, for saying it out loud, because you can't help your thoughts, right?
Right.
For saying it out loud, and it shows a lack of love and tenderness. And like, remember when you said like other ways that men show protection over women? That's one of the things, is watching your mouth when you speak to her. You have to speak to her tenderly, and you can't just say stuff. She's not one of your homeboys,
right?
You can't do things like that. So that's one of those things you learn over time.
Right. It was like he openly told her and the kids, two boys, no less, two boys, that you don't respect the mother, their mama,
or women,
that you value, your opinion is more valuable than hers because she's just a nothing, or a waitress, or whatever that was. That's difficult, because I would then see, you have to address the children as well. You know what I'm saying? You have to address how he said it in front of the kids as well. Do you think the man has to do something besides with her in order to, with his sons? He has to have another conversation with those children and say, this is what I did wrong to those.
Well, that's like putting the cart before the horse, honestly.
No, not right now, but I'm saying,
no, I mean, like, because both parents is out with these two kids, right?
Right. They're in a restaurant.
The kids inherently have a lack of disrespect for both of their parents if they're doing this in public. First of all, it's not his or her, it's their problem that these kids, and primarily because the man is typically the disciplinarian in the household. It's just authority, the base, and the masculinity. That stuff typically comes from the man when the parents are together. Then those two boys don't respect their dad. So that's on you, Pops. How you mad at her because your kids are acting a fool in public like this? It should be a glance. I mean, it even shouldn't get to a glance. Right. You already know when we in public, you shouldn't. And how old were they?
12 and I think it was 12 and 14, maybe 12 and it was 12 and like I think 10.
Bro, you can't be mad at her. That's bro. This don't reflect HQ. This don't reflect anybody on the HQ dating. But if you supposed to do what you do, hey, them butts should have already been handled before that. So when you get out in the public, they already know how to act accordingly. Right. So you getting upset at her, something else. I mean, I'm and this is a huge assumption, something else had to be going on between him and her.
Right.
It could be one of those instances where he could be trying to discipline the boys, and because she's the mom, she's saying, she gives too much leniency with them in the discipline. John, you always too hard on them boys. John, you always kind of letting them do stuff. Right. So he could be taking out his frustration from the boys acting like that on her.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's right, but he, like somebody said, like in his mind, like, I need to put you in your place kind of thing, to say something harsh to you to kind of get my point across, which is not right. But we human, y'all. We human. Right. This is all learning. The marriage is not easy. You supposed to be tied to this person for the rest of your life, man. Things are difficult. It's
See,
not
Jay,
easy.
you said something that was important. Before we get to the restaurant,
Way before.
the little boy, the 12-year-old wants to get up and walk around in the restaurant. Already from the beginning, as a father, that's something you should have checked. As a mother, that's something that should already be checked. You should never go to a restaurant and your children are not trained to behave in the restaurant. This is why this falls on his shoulders. But because he was embarrassed, and this is a failure on his part. He is not properly training his boys. I believe men raise men, women raise women. Okay? I believe that. It would be difficult to be a father, if I was a father, to have that kind of discipline, undisciplined child in public who understands English, who understands no, who understands consequences. This is a child that doesn't understand the wrath of dad, who doesn't respect the wrath of dad. See, this is something that should have been checked long ago. See, when I had I had four when I didn't have one before, but I had four. Before we got out of the car. Now you know what's gonna happen if you act up. You're getting fucked up. Excuse my French. But before we get out of the car, you already know you're getting fucked up. If you jump out of pocket, if you start running, if you act the fool, you raise your voice, you don't know how to sit down, you start asking and whining because you can't get your way, we got a problem. And dad is gonna take you outside. You and him will come back in, but you're gonna be crying when you do come back in.
You ain't gonna be crying when you come back in. You better hush it all up when you come back in.
Right. So I'm assuming maybe he was frustrated. Now that we're talking it through, we're talking it through now. Maybe he's frustrated because, look, you let me handle, he said his wife, he should have said, maybe, you let me handle this. Please don't you coddling them too much. Let me handle this. And he do what he got to do with those sons. But never should he have said that, because now it's about me and you, and it should have been just about you and those boys, disciplining those boys, and me standing back and saying that he's the father, handle the boys, and then you shouldn't have had nothing to say. But she did. But see, here we're here. We are here with the disrespect. So we understand where we went wrong. As a female, you understand where you went wrong. You're not there to intervene. You're there to let him handle his job as the husband, as the man. Got it. So how do we bounce back from you saying that? I accept my role in this. I accept my role in this. But this is a different level of disrespect. Because now I can see that you don't have respect for me.
Can I say something to HQ for himself as well?
Yeah.
He don't have respect for himself. He don't and this is me reaching, but he don't respect himself and up to a certain point because his sons is running over him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't see himself as the head of the household because his wife wasn't listening to him when he said, let me discipline these boys. Let me get them in line.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of somebody said in the chat, like he's probably embarrassed of how people see him in this public space. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't taught well enough to not do what he did.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He got himself out of frame because he's looking like, man, I can't even respect myself. My sons don't listen to me. My wife don't listen to me. Mm-hmm. So he got in his feelings and went from an emotional place instead of a logical place where a man is supposed to do.
Okay.
What he should have said at the table is, babe, I'm gonna be right back. You come with me now. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And she in her place, in her femininity, her wifely role, say, that's it. You go with your dad. No, don't say no. because the authority should be coming from him, because he's the one that's going to do the disciplining whenever he goes out and has a conversation with them, or whatever else he has to do with that 12 and that 14-year-old.
Right.
They might have to go home and do some manual labor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Laying some bricks or doing, some wall sits or some holding the plank position, something. Men need that.
Right.
Women, not so much when they're growing up as young ladies, but men need that struggle. You need to learn that stuff is hard. Anything worth doing or worth doing right, it takes time. And it's not going to be easy. That's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad I joined the military when I did. And I got a good father. My father showed me how to work, and he didn't have to put his hands on me much. I had to get, light it up a few times, but didn't have to put his hands on me much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Outside of a belt to the butt.
Right.
But it takes time. It takes discipline. Men need that. These 12 and 14, that's too old to be doing this stuff in a restaurant like that. Man.
Absolutely. I say to her, you have to pull back your feelings. Okay. Pull back your feelings. It also, and I understand your dynamic, but it also depends on what came prior to that. What has come prior to that? Is this blatant disrespect of his authority all the time? Was it a one-off? What type of dynamic do you all have when it comes to the kids? Because these things need to be talked about when the kids get a certain age. How are we going to discipline them?
Before you have kids?
Yeah, before you have kids. Who's going to take charge? Who's going to stand back? When I have a certain way, I'm going to raise them. You don't have no comment. I'm going to raise them, right? Which is how I did it in my marriage. I was a person that I don't want to put my hands on a child. I don't want to have to do any arguing with a child. I don't want to have a conversation with kids about what they want to do. So my husband decided immediately, I'm the person that's disciplinarian. I'm the person they got to come talk to. So I let him do that. When he said, you come with me, they already knew. Put your hands on the chair. We ain't having no discussion, because this is the way you're going to act in public. We're not going to get into the restaurant and then you act up. Before you act up, because we would do it before we got out of the car. My husband would be like, now y'all know how to act when we get in public, right? You know how to act, right?
It's a refresher. It's just a quick refresher. Hey, remember what I told you before.
Right.
This is just a quick refresher, so you know. So you can't say, I forgot.
Right.
When we go in this store, when we go in this restaurant, don't be acting up, because you know what's going to happen.
And the woman should have had that in her mind already. The woman should have known, this is the person that's going to take charge of that. I don't have anything to say about that. I'm not going to keep your dad off your ass. That's it. Mom, because my daughter, she said, Mom, why you let dad tell it, be mean and do all that? I was like, this is what we decided in our marriage. He's the one. He's the disciplinarian. He's the one that you go to if this, and this. He's the one that's going to deal with you if you act out of pocket when we get somewhere. He's the one you're going to deal with. I'm not going to have, even though I'm a woman and you're a girl, I'm already warning you, he's the person. I remember distinctly my daughter saying, Mom, why you always let dad be the one who tell us what to do? Because this is what we decided. I don't overstep his authority. This is how it's supposed to work in a marriage. So maybe she overstepped her bounds. He responded wrongly. I get it. But there needs to be some repair after that, because it was an overreach on his part, and I get it. Maybe she could have been disrespecting him, coddling them, when he said, don't coddle them, and you've been coddling them, and he's been putting up with it. But as you said, this is a part of what he should have been doing, should have been taken care of. Okay.
His levee broke. Yeah. Took too much, took a little bit too much. That straw, it took whatever it took, and he just got in his,
I got you. Okay. That's not bad. That's a scenario. We got the second one, right? We've been married 13 years. Right out of high school, we met, married not long after that. I'm 35, he's 37. About 8 months ago. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm reading the wrong one. I'm sorry. Sorry, y'all. Okay. I'm 29. My husband is 30. He is a liar about big things and little things that aren't even important. For some reason, he cannot tell the truth. This has so much history, but I'll just keep it to the most current problem, right? My husband went to work on Friday and came home early. I assume he was just taking it easy and starting the weekend early. He is a foreman in a warehouse. Monday came around and I woke him up and he still was at home. Usually he's gone way before I even wake up. But when I asked him, he said he had a job interview at a much higher paying company. So I thought that was great, talking it up to him, making him happy, making him feel good about it. He had the interview and stayed home all day Monday. I asked if he got fired on Friday. I don't know why. I just had a weird feeling, but he said no. He didn't go to work on Tuesday. And again, I asked him if he got fired, and his response was, I'm using my sick time before I quit to go to the other job. Okay, fine. Today he didn't go to work again and asked again if he got fired. I knew he was lying. Lying to me just by his mannerisms, and said this to him directly. He said, I didn't get fired. I quit on Friday. My issue isn't that he quit. It's that he lied about it. I find myself always second guessing what he tells me in this marriage. I don't care if he wants to switch jobs, but why lie about it? Like I'm all about growth and trying to better yourself, so I wouldn't be supportive about his next jump. I just feel like I can't take the lying and the half truths. This has been going on since in our whole relationship for 13 years, and I don't know what to do. He also refuses therapy. I am so lost. What do I do? This is a man. This is a question. What should she do? I'm asking. What I'm asking you, Jay.
I'm gonna say you don't just marry a liar and find out they're a liar.
Absolutely.
This dude been a liar. The way he lying, he been a liar the whole time.
The whole time.
The whole time, man. And she complained about it 13 years later. Come on, lady.
Yeah.
He's a liar. He's not going to take accountability.
Oof.
I quit. You ain't quit, sucker. You got fired because you was lying at work.
So my whole question is, what should she do? What should she do? I mean, this has been going on for a long time. So obviously, you don't feel you don't feel the lying is all that important because he's been doing it.
She played, yeah, Pink. She played herself.
You can't rely on him. You can't trust him. You need more support. Maybe you need therapy to decide whether you're gonna stay in that marriage or you shouldn't stay in that marriage. Okay. This is what I say. Are you gonna decide to stay, or you gonna get therapy and try to live with it? It's learned behavior. This laziness, this staying at home, not working. This is something that you just let happen.
Hey, I'm all for therapy, man, but ultimately therapy just helps you tell yourself the truth that you already know. Because a lot of people lie to themselves, and they need to go to somebody to be able to tell them, hey, you messing up, or you in a toxic relationship, whatever they tell them. Like, you knew that already, though. You just didn't want to tell yourself the truth.
Right.
A therapist is there to tell you the truth. You're going to pay somebody to tell you the truth. You already either living through, witnessing, or you know it already.
So you already know what to do. So we already know this scenario.
So, I mean, it's good to help you work through stuff. It is, honestly, but everybody don't need therapy.
Why?
This lying guy, therapy is not going to stop this dude from lying.
Right. It's ingrained. He's learned. Yeah, he's learned to lie just like that, and he ain't gonna change because he knows that you can accept it. He knows you're gonna accept it. So
13 years.
Right. Just keep doing it.
I quit. I got a job interview next week, babe. I quit that job. I ain't want it.
I know, right? I mean, hey, at least he working. That's the only thing I see. He working whenever he, whatever. but it's still the uncertainty in that relationship. It's still that uncertainty in that marriage. And I mean, that's an easy one. You either gonna stay and put up with it, or you gonna get a divorce and leave. But you're okay with it because you've been okay with it. You still have not confronted him and said, this is unacceptable. You haven't said that yet. You haven't said that. Y'all hit the like button coming in, please. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. She should say, in that scenario, she should stay in the relationship. Really? You think so? Why you say
I don't know, HQ. This is a tough one. Because like what? Okay, so his lying to the detriment of what? Like what has happened before from him? Because she know he lying. That's on the table already. He's a liar.
He's a
big
liar.
Stuff, small stuff. She knows he's a liar.
Right.
She knows this man, right?
Right.
And like Pinky said, she's lying to herself as well. So how do you move forward in this situation that they have right now, isolated to these two individual people, nobody else?
Okay.
Is this the first time something's happened to where financially they're in trouble, or any other type of way they're in trouble? Like, is he lying? Is he out? Is he stepping out and lying? Is he putting her health at risk by lying?
She didn't say. She just said this. She said, he lies about big things that aren't important and small things, but he can never tell the truth.
So she needs to, I mean, if she's going to stay in this, she needs to know she's married to a liar, first of all. And she needs to do her, this is a tough one, man. You can't, man. Even though she'd want to,
that one, man, right?
Even though she'd want to, it comes with some demeaning, because you're gonna have to talk down to this man because he's acting like a child lying, right?
Right.
But she's gonna have to bite her tongue, and she's gonna have to verify everything. It's a double work for every single thing.
Why should I have to do double work?
She don't have to. She could leave. It is an option. I'm talking about. I'm leaning into the hard, tough decision of staying in the relationship.
So if everything is a lie,
she's gonna have to do double work and verify everything.
But if everything,
hey babe, did you call that place and did you do such and such and such?
But I don't want you to be my kid. I don't want you. I want to treat you like my kid.
I know. It's easy. The easier route, say adios, bounce. You don't want to deal with the lying. I had enough of your lying. You lie about every single solitary thing. I'm done with it. I don't have to put up with this. I'm gone.
Or you can say, look, you're going to have to go to therapy. You're going to have to go to therapy and work out why you feel the need to lie to me and whoever every time you get into a situation. This is what I need from you. Right. She said, my issue isn't that he quit. So she don't care whether he work or he don't work.
Or got fired.
It's that he lied about it. I find myself always second guessing what he tells me. He's been doing it. So you're used to him lying. So it's okay for him to lie. It's okay for him not to have a job. What the hell is going on in your marriage?
No, yeah, he not gonna change. He's still gonna lie. But what if he did go to therapy and he continues the lying portion of it, but afterwards he, in his mind, the therapist and his conversations and the work throughs is there. So he says, oh babe, you know what? That might not have happened how I said it happened, or I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a hard one because liars lie, man. They love it.
And they
you ever have somebody, right? You ever have somebody when this person is like a family member or something like that, but they just lie, just lie to be lying.
Just lie.
Like, why? Like
you lie. She said he lies about little things
everything.
And big things.
Yeah, my uncle told me he used to work out with Arnold Schwarzenegger when he lived in California. I'm just listening to him, man, because I don't have a tight relationship with him because he wasn't around a lot, man. Right. But he told me that. I'm just like, oh, word? Oh, man, that must have been crazy. I'm letting him lie. I don't care. Right. It wasn't no big deal, but I know it. I know you wasn't there at the beach in California with them working out.
But how do you deal? But the whole point is, you have little if no respect for me if you can just lie like that.
Yeah. I mean, but
can a liar love a person? Can they really be in a relationship and yet still be a liar?
I knew some people that was in a relationship, and the way he got her is because he portrayed himself as something that he wanted to be. He wanted to be that guy. He wanted to have the fast and fancy cars, the house and the accounts and the Bitcoin and all this stuff. And he portrayed himself as that because he knew how to finesse. He was a finesser, right? So, and invest in this car. I got this company, invest in it. So he would get money from people, right? And he put a little bit into what he was supposed to put in, but he used the rest of it to front his lifestyle. But I know at some point she had to realize that that's what he was doing. Because when you check bank accounts and you check stuff like that, stuff just don't add up. You know what I'm saying? But she started to enjoy the lifestyle, the purses and the having the cars and being able to go on the trips and stuff like that. So to her, it didn't really matter, even though he was a liar. So to answer your question, yeah, you can still love or be with somebody who's a liar if they're lying to you the right way, quote unquote.
Lying,
you know what I mean?
The right way.
Yeah, make me feel good. Make me feel good. Lie to me the right way. All these women dating scammers now. I know you heard it. Who would you rather, a 9-to-5 or a scammer? And they'd be like, a scammer. A scammer is an inherent finesser, a liar. They would rather be with that liar.
Ouch.
You're not gonna lie to me. If he lying to everybody else, he gonna lie to you.
And then now you're a liar because
you're lying to yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's a difficult one. That's a difficult one when you're in the middle of marriage and you married for 13 years. She didn't say nothing about him cheating. She didn't say nothing about him not working. He just, man, how many times has he quit his job and went on a different interview and then got another job and then quit that job? And then how many times has he done that in 13 years of marriage? What? That's wild.
I'm sorry, HQ. I'm not dealing with that Flora stuff today. She's timed out.
She timed out.
Yeah, come on. I'm in here being truthful and honest and trying to spit as much facts and reality and deal with real life situations. She come up here with the nonsense. Goodbye. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.
This is our next letter. She says, I have been a terrible partner in life and my husband deserves better. We met in college and we were 20 years old and we instantly clicked. We were our both first everything. We were together for 3 years, after which we got married. My marriage was the happiest day of my life as I was now with the man of my dreams. After getting married, the first year was great. We both landed high-paying jobs and shifted to a nice house in a good neighborhood. He would be home before me and would make dinner, set up the table, and welcome me home with a huge kiss and a hug. About a year ago, I came home a little stressed from work. He moved in to hug me, but I pushed him away. And said that I wasn't in the mood and asked him not to touch me. He's not hugged me since that day. At the time, I saw no issues with my behavior. I believed he was in the wrong for trying to touch me without asking. Whoa.
Wow.
I actually believe that. He was in the wrong for trying to touch me without asking. What the hell went on? I became the toxic partner. Our fights started escalating. Looking back, they were for trivial things, and I just wanted to stir the shit. I always turned him down for sex, only agreeing when I wanted to. I stopped going out on our date night because those are for kids, not a married couple with careers. I never complimented him and took him for granted. Hold on. He did most, if not all, the housework. I believe that he was lucky to have me as a wife, a gorgeous woman like me. who gets compliments from everyone. I failed to see how he was feeling, how his head was usually lowered these days, how he didn't talk or smile to me anymore. I didn't see any of this because I was too fucking busy admiring myself in the mirror. About 6 months ago, he had a fever and couldn't get out of bed. In that time period, I resented him for not being able to do the housework, how often he needed my help for his medicine, or any of those things. I left him alone at home, sick, and went to work. When I came back, he had vomited and been at the toilet, had vomited on the toilet floor, and he because he couldn't reach the bathroom in time. And I got angry at him. I made fun of him. I got pissed that he had to. I got pissed that I had to clean it up. Okay,
That's the husband. That ain't no woman who wrote that.
this is the
I'm,
woman. We don't
no,
know.
it's
We
not.
don't know. We don't know.
No, it's not.
I went into the other bathroom to shower, and when I came back, he had cleaned it up all by himself while his head was pounding and his body was shaking. That's right. I made a sick man clean up his own vomit. We hadn't had sex in a month. I just didn't feel like he deserved that privilege, and he had stopped trying to initiate sex with me. Then, about a month ago, I got a virus. He took care of me. He made chicken soup. He did all of those things. He said something that haunted me forever. I don't really have a reason to smile. He said that to me. He got up and went to the next room, and I heard him crying. This is when I realized just what I had put him through and how bad of a person I was. He took care of me when I was sick, and I was angry for him asking me to take care of him when he was sick. I got well, and I started to try to make it better for him. I realized I was being a bitch. I reduced my work hours so I'd come home before him, and I tried to do what he did for me. But he started taking on more work at the office, increasing the hours at work. He'd return late at night at home, and wouldn't even eat the dinner I gave him. One day he said he wasn't hungry and he fell asleep. I ate my dinner and went to bed, and a few hours into the night, he got up and ate the dinner because he didn't want to eat with me. The next day at breakfast, I asked him why he was coming so late these days, and that I wanted to spend some time with him. He said I had to stay late for a few days to cover up the work I missed while you were sick, and I took care of you. And I realized I liked the peace and quiet at work. He then left for work, and I cried, ugly cried, because this wonderful man didn't deserve someone like me, someone who never acknowledged how good a shape he was in, how he was so helpful throughout everything. Everything ends now. I love him, and it's about time I showed it to him. I'm lucky to have him, but I thought it was the other way around, and I treated him like that. I've taken that day, and he's going to come home in a few hours. I'm going to cook him his favorite dinner. I'll welcome him home with a hug, something I haven't done in a while. I want him to feel the love I had for him again. He is the best husband one could ask for, and I treated him like dirt. I don't know how to make up for what I've been put him through. I don't know if it's even possible, but he's the best husband possible, and I have to try. I was terrible to my husband and treated him like he was lucky to be with me. Recent events showed me how wrong I was, and I'm angry at how stupid I was, and I want to make up for everything I've done.
I don't believe this one, HQ. Sorry. That's
No, I'm not saying it's a true scenario. I'm not saying it's a true something happened. I'm saying not saying these are true scenarios. I'm saying what would you do if this was a true scenario? Because I'm telling you right now, there's people who do this. There's people
It's
who,
usually the reverse, you know. That's what makes me think it's a male because usually this is not how women operate. You know, we've been taught since we were kids to prioritize the needs of men, children,
ain't nobody
family.
teach
Oh,
you.
I'm talking. Okay, you said you wanted to ban me out of the chat for the day, so I got to
Yeah,
come up here and
I should ban you
yeah,
on this too.
yeah, I gotta come up here and drag you because you can get mad at what I put in the chat, but the facts of the matter is that we know that women are not socialized to be as selfish as this man was, or this letter was implying that a woman is.
right.
Now, I do think anybody who takes their partner for granted and treats them like, you know, they're too good for them, that's a bad scenario. But we know as women that this is not how we're socialized, and men don't tolerate this type of behavior. This is not a common thing that men deal with, but it is common for
Yes, it
women
is.
to be in. No, it's not. But
Yes, it is.
you know, the guy in the successful marriage just happens to know about every conflict that a relationship could possibly have. That's
I
what
didn't
I
say
find
that, but this
ironic.
is common. This is very common. This is
It's
very
common
common.
for it's common for
Sexless
women.
marriages.
It's common for women to talk about the scenario of a sexless marriage, yes. But this whole scenario of like, oh, I didn't want to be around him. A lot of the resentment that
Yeah.
women feel towards their husbands has to do with behavior. It doesn't just come up out of nowhere because they think their shit don't stink. That's
Mm.
where I think this letter was fake.
No, yeah,
But
the
that's me.
arrogance. Yeah. I agree with you on that part.
So,
But this
we gonna
scenario
take it.
happens a lot.
Yeah, but we gonna take it. We gonna take it how it's read. We're gonna take it like it was a woman who wrote this letter. So if we take it like a woman wrote this letter, she don't deserve her husband.
And
It's kind
no
of
person
hard.
who did that, no person who behaved like that deserves a partner, period. But I just think the whole scenario is unrealistic because women are not socialized to be this selfish, and men are not socialized to be selfless enough to tolerate this type of relationship, type of situation in the first place. So unless
Women
they're
are
ugly and broke.
socialized to be selfish. Women are socialized. It's the
No, we're
whole
not.
princess. It's the whole princess
Okay,
concept.
let him
It
go. Let him
is.
go.
It's the whole princess concept, and men are socialized to be selfless because that's the whole valiant prince thing. I need to come and rescue you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why women don't like. I don't need no rescuing. That's why men are there. What's the
So
problem?
what woman told you that women be saying, I don't need no rescuing? Because that's specifically,
I've
that's
heard.
something I've never
Come
heard
on,
women in
man.
my group. The women who I'm around, you know, marriage-minded women who are married, who have successful families and relationships, they don't talk like this. So when you talk about, oh, women say, women like all the pookies, or women like, what women? Your wife?
So
Your
have you
family
never
members?
you don't watch social media? You don't experience the world? You don't
I
listen to
watch
other
social
people and other
media to make
perspectives?
generalizations about men and women. No,
It's
that's
not
not
a
what I'm doing.
generalization. It's
Hold
not a
on,
generalization.
hold
You've
on.
never heard that before.
I've never really heard. Well, I've heard people say women are selfish, but I'm not. But I look at myself and the women around me, and I haven't ran across too many that are selfish like that. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying men can be extremely selfish too. Women,
So
I think it's a man and a woman thing. It's not just women, but we're not talking about
okay,
what they could and couldn't be.
yeah, yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
getting off the subject. We're trying to address what a married woman who feels like this, who did this, would do or should do. Not
This type
whether
of
it's
woman
true
would
or not.
never write that letter though.
What type
She
of woman?
wouldn't have this
Oh
realized. She would have
Lord.
left that dude. This type of woman, if she was that arrogant in the beginning, they met in college, they fell in love, yada yada yada. They both got high paying jobs and everything. And then all of a sudden, I don't feel like he deserved to touch me.
Mm.
Something's
She
if this woman is real, something's off. Something's off there.
Could it be a
she
mental
Now
issue?
let
Could
now
it be
let
a
me
mental issue?
left.
Now, what if she was living with a dusty, stinky,
He's not a
frothy,
dusty
hold
stinky. They
on, hold
both went
on,
to
hold
college and
on,
had
because I'm
successful
talking
jobs.
about
Wait a minute, we
I'm
don't know.
talking
Hold on,
about
hold on.
I'm talking
I might.
specifically about the scenario where it becomes like, oh, I don't want him to touch me. The times that I have seen that in relationships, I can only address one thing at a time. The time that I have seen that, it's because of behavior. Like I know several people who've been in relationships and they feel like that. And it's a lot of the times because that man is inconsistent with his behavior. Maybe all the burden of like the family and the children is falling on them. So they start to resent their partner. That's where this written letter comes across weird because none of it lines up. To
Mhm.
me, it doesn't line
She
up.
All right,
never
all
said
right.
that.
Can I
The
speak?
women in
Can
the
I
All right,
group
speak?
all
never
right.
said that.
Let Black America speak. Let Black
Can,
America.
can, can I speak?
See,
This is
we don't. Okay, wait a minute. We don't know whether this letter is for real. We are just addressing the scenario. If it pretend like it's real, this is what we do.
I
We
did
pretend
miss
like
that part though, so my
let's
apologies. I
let's
missed that
pretend.
part.
We're pretending like this is a real letter and we're addressing marital problems. If this came up in your marriage, what would you do or what would you suggest this person do? That's what
okay.
Therapy.
Okay.
pretend as though it's real marriage. Okay.
So what I want to say is, uh, this is a real situation, right? like I say, I talk to a lot of men. I've talked to a man who is a sole provider for his family,
Mhm.
and when he comes home, only thing he gets to eat is cereal, except for if it's a holiday.
Mm.
For the
Mhm.
last 15 years, this nigga has been eating honeycombs.
Mm.
Okay. Once again, I told you the other day, talk to a man who has slept in whose wife, to punish him, has made him sleep in a downstairs closet. Um, we talked with this other man on here talked about a woman got pregnant on him twice.
Mhm.
You, you guys really don't. And yes, women are born to be self. Women,
Address letter. Address the
yeah,
letter.
and women are born to be selfish. Women are selfish, so I can see women acting in this exact manner, and men always. It is our job and duty and honor to take care of you. We don't
Mhm.
give a fuck if you sick. We're still gonna do it.
So how do we address the fact that now what do we say to her now? What do
How
we
long were
say
they
to her
married? Did she
now?
say HQ?
Yeah, huh? What?
How long had they been married at this point of the letter? Did she say
20, she said we were 20 when we got married. So after 3 years,
3 years?
3 years we got married. The first year
Okay,
was great. The first year was great. So I'm assuming they have been married for like 5 years. I didn't hear anything
around
about
that time
kids.
frame.
So
So,
about 5 years.
so she feels like she's coming to into her own, and all of us know, all of us men know, you women look good from 18 to 25.
Okay, I'm gonna exit the conversation. You got this.
You
Looking the
you
way you do,
can.
you got this.
You
What?
you you certainly can. This is what men say. You
Yeah.
look it up
Wait a
on your
minute. Wait a minute.
computer.
No, no, we're not addressing what men and women say. We're addressing what's in the letter.
Oh,
How do we
okay.
pull a
She
how do we
she's
pull a
feeling
marriage
herself.
out of crisis? Not
She's feeling herself, and once that is all, but it's going to be too late. It's already an amount of animosity built
Mhm.
up between her and him, right?
Right.
Because we don't care about getting shitted on by you guys, but we absolutely do remember about getting shitted on, right? We do forgive you because we love you. Like I said, you are the best part of us, but we don't forget.
Okay. Triple
So
X, what you say? Triple X, give me your thought. Triple
Oh,
X.
okay. Yeah, respect to the panel. Shout out everybody.
Hey,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. My thoughts on it is yes, I do. If we're gonna assume we take the letter at face value in this
Take the
room.
letter at face value. Yes.
Yeah. I could 100% see this scenario being true. And yes, unfortunately, I have seen women behave like this. I've known guys specifically that have been married to women, very attractive women, and they have definitely acted in this manner, unfortunately.
So
Uh,
your advice for this particular, but this woman right here is saying,
yeah, yeah,
this woman is saying,
mm,
I am sorry that I did that to my husband.
yeah.
What say you? What do you suggest she do? Does she tell him that I've been this way and approach him and try to make it up to him? Or do you say, I'm saying, see, this is the thing. You all are coming from the male perspective. I need you to get into
To
her
give her
head
advice, to
and
give her
say
advice.
to her, what did she do? Because now she recognizes what she has done. Get into her.
Well, I'll say this: if she can actually attempt to not dodge accountability like the Matrix, and and step up, and she needs, first of all, she needs to invite her guy out to a nice dinner, and she needs to sit down, get dressed up, and she needs to explain to him her behavior. You
Mhm.
know, she needs to apologize for her behavior.
Mhm.
She needs to let him know that that will never happen again. She needs to outline what she's going to do about it, and she
Mhm.
actually needs to do it. I mean, it sounds like these two people are actually married, So I would never tell. First of all, I would never tell anybody to break up anyway, especially nobody married. But in that scenario, the man just cannot continue to be target practice for that woman. You know what? That woman, that letter sounds like that woman I referenced the last time I was up here a couple of days ago that turned into Darth Vader. And she basically just went crazy on men. So that would be my thing to her, is that she needs to lay out a plan specifically to that guy, and then she needs to follow through with it, and she needs to start showing something immediately.
So Jay, what would you say? That's what Triple X would do if he was her. What would you do if you had to come home and you found her waiting in a negligee trying to be nice after having done all of this stuff she said she did?
I would have. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna come at this HQ from the perspective of I'm her brother.
Okay.
Right. And then I kind of see my brother-in-law going through this, and I see her kind of doing this to him. I'm gonna say you need to start investing in respecting that man to the utmost. You need to start carrying your other housely duties, the load in that perspective, because she said that that's what he was doing. She needs to go out of her way to meal prep or do whatever she needs to in the house. The make things easier on the home front, right? But this comes before the physical intimacy, because you can't just you could throw sex at a man and it ain't gonna mean nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You can do all that stuff. Okay, you just did that. All right. I still don't want to be around you right after that. I'm not trying to hold you after that. I just finished and I'm in the next room watching Netflix or playing my PlayStation or something, right? So this is going to take up. This is just like the other thing. This is going to take a lot of time for her, because she's got to repair all the negative. What she taught him so many ways to react negatively to her actions. She's got to like, I don't want to say teach, but she has to, through action, show him that she is there for him specifically, that she respects him first and foremost, and then secondly, that she loves him, and then third, that she likes him.
Kasim, sir. Kasim,
what's up, HQ?
hello. So, did you hear the scenario?
Yeah, I heard the scenario.
Okay. So, if you are the man, how do you respond? Do you leave or do you give her another shot? And if you decide to give her another shot, what do you say?
The first thing would have to be had, is a heart-to-heart conversation. I would need her to probably for the first time just listen and be present to what I have to say. Right? I would need her to be there, to not be distracted by anything, not to be looking away, not to be twiddling her thumbs, not to be hoeing and hawing. I need for her to actually be totally present while I am speaking the things that I'm speaking about. Once I feel as though that I have been heard and not just seen, I would give her an opportunity to express herself. If she is saying anything about wanting to stay together, saying how much she loves me and wanting to make it work, I would say, what type of plan do you have? What do you plan on doing? Right? To get some sort of accountability and some sort of reflection about her past behavior and how that affected me. From there, it's going to have to be about consistency, stability. I am going to be okay. It's not the fact that you can do this for 1 or 2 days, but I want to see a level of consistency, the same level of consistency that I gave her when she came home from work and I had dinner done, when she was hurt and she didn't have this and she didn't have that. I was there for her. That's what I would need to see, and I would put a time frame on it. I would give it 7 months.
7 months.
Because just as Jay said, yeah, you could throw it on me and have sex, but my emotions is not there with you. I am emotionally distant. And when a man is emotionally distant, it's hard for him to get him back. It really is. Right. So that would be my plan.
Okay. Hey, Aaron.
Hello, how are you?
How did you hear the scenario?
Unfortunately, I did.
Okay. So we will go. So we're saying she has a lot of repair work to do. Off
A
the
lot of
bat.
what work?
Repair work. She has a lot of
Yes.
oh, not you, Aaron. I'm sorry. You wait for the next scenario. The next scenario is coming up because you need
Okay.
to hear the whole scenario in order to comment. Okay, so you're saying in that instance, are you saying this marriage is salvageable? Are you saying it's salvageable, Black America, or it's not salvageable?
No, it's not salvageable. It's not salvageable because of the reasons I just stated. It's not salvageable because of what Christine just stated. He said 7 months, but we go by past practice, right? So if somebody is doing something for 30 days, right? Like you do your 30-day challenge, you build good habits. She has been building bad habits so far, right? And she is, once again, she can go and put it on him, like Kasim says, but in the back of our minds, in the back of our heads, it's like, now we don't trust you. You see, and that's the problem. There's gonna be no more trust ever. She can never gain that level of trust back. A man will stay. Unfortunately, we stay through those things, but she will never be able to garner that level of I love you back. Now it's a I love you out of duty and honor. It's no more I love you because you are my life. And I thank God that they don't have kids anymore, or not anymore yet. And maybe he may be able to leave and move on. Because she said.
So you say you don't think it's salvageable? That it's valid. Those are valid points. Does anybody push back on what he's saying?
Like I said, I'm coming at today from everyone is salvageable. That's my perspective on this for today. That's how I'm trying to approach this. This not going to be easy.
Right.
This night it's work, man. She got it. She gonna have to. It's not gonna be easy. There's a lot of repairs she has to do with what she did in this.
This is what I asked. This is what I asked.
7 months.
Let me say this.
Hold on.
We have to also do our part as she's doing her part. If I see her making an effort, changing her behavior, changing her patterns, I am going to honor that, and I'm going to let her know that I recognize the things that she's doing right. Okay. If I really want this thing to make it, if she's cooking more and she's doing these things, I'm going to say, hey, like, wow, that meal was really awesome. I really appreciate that. All the gestures that she's doing, I'm going to give her recognition, because the last thing that you want to happen is she's doing these things, but we don't give her any recognition, or we don't see that she's doing it. So now what that causes her to do is to hold back even more. So now we even sabotage it for saying, see, I told you she couldn't do it for that amount of time, because we didn't give her any recognition. So I would just say, on our part as the men, as the woman is making a change in her behavior and her character, to give her recognition, acknowledgement, and a little bit of affection.
Yeah, because something made you love this woman. Something made you want to marry this woman. So with marriage and commitment beyond marriage comes grace. She's messed up. She's stepped in it. She's covered in it. She got to get her way out of that. And for you to hold that against her the whole time. And if she keeps, okay, so she's already messed up. So she's doing the things now because she wrote this letter. Hopefully, in this scenario, let's say she starts to do all the things to try and repair where she's messed up before. If you just resentful against her, that meal's not going to, whatever, this meal, I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to throw half of it away. And then you push and push and push. And now she's extending now, even though she's the one that caused this. If you keep pushing away, then what's the point? You gotta give a certain point of grace, and that's the hard part, man. Saying sorry or showing grace.
So are we saying if you're not going to show grace like like you all say, we should leave it alone, or we should let her go?
I'd say in that case, you have to go with what Black America say. You gotta go. If you know you're not willing to extend grace when she's apologizing and when she's actually showing you, then you got to let it go, because you're not in the place for that. And it's because she already messed up and you're not willing to show grace. It's over. You're just wasting each other's time.
Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Every man.
I have to bug my client, and I'm just letting you know that I have to go. My client is downstairs.
Okay.
All
right, thank you. Come back.
You're welcome.
Please, come back.
I'll try.
This is what I ask every man. I ask every man once I kind of do a little investigation and find out their story to be true. I ask every man, how long are you willing to be miserable? Right? Because I ask every man that, Jay, because we are willing to be miserable forever. And because even if we leave or the relationship dissolves, for a long period of time, men are still going to be miserable because, like I said, we have lost our other half, right? We love you more authentically than you love us. We don't love you for the things that you do. We love you for the people that you are. How long are you willing to be miserable? And once they get to that tipping point,
right?
Because we're not emotional like most of us, right? We're not going to cry. We're just going to keep on muttering along. It'll be like a man whose wife cheats on him constantly. As long as really nobody finds out, the motherfucker gonna stay. But push come to shove, he's gonna get fed up with it. If she bring home a baby, just like the other dude or something like that, these things compound and compound and compound. And then it's gonna be far too gone and way too late. You see what I mean? So how long are you willing to be miserable? And what plans how are you going to leave? Because it's like this. I don't know if Jay or Aaron, but we all know men who are, we're let's say we were all 40. We all know men who have been beefing with other men since high school.
Man, that's crazy.
We all see, this is a scenario when I said that. This is because men forgive, but we don't forget. So every time a woman does something, she denied him of sex. It was one man who wrote a list of every time his wife denied him of sex in 30 days. We all keep notching. Every time something happens, we make a notch. We make a notch. We make a notch. We make a notch. We don't let shit go.
Okay.
We don't.
Yeah. So basically, you one of the ones that you would have to end your marriage because you wouldn't be in it honestly, because you would keep that resentment going. You wouldn't be.
No, you'd be in there doing your job. You, as a man, you're gonna still be in there doing everything that you're supposed to do. You're just no longer going to love that person. Like,
what kind of marriage is that, though? Hey. Black America?
I'm telling you, that is the way that men operate.
Aaron, say you.
I thought I had to wait till the next.
Oh, no. I'm saying comment on what Black America. I'm saying comment on what Black America said. This is how men behave in a marriage. Is that correct?
I don't have any. I mean, like the way I think, and
oh, you keep dropping in and out. You'll come back. Okay, so we'll just drop that one. Here's the last scenario that we got. My husband wants an open marriage and I don't. My husband wants an open marriage and I don't. I'm introducing another scenario so you can have the full context of what your answer will be, okay? Now, my husband and I got married pretty young. He was 23 and I was 26. I was technically his first real relationship. We have been together 5 years, almost married for 3. The problem came out not long after we got married. I learned a lot of new stuff right after we got married. First, my husband is basically a porn addict. He doesn't believe this is a problem. Second, he didn't realize he was bisexual till after we got married and never got to experiment with his sexuality. Lastly, he wants an open marriage. I have tried to be accepting and open-minded. I have basically gave up on the porn addiction because how do you make someone fix something they don't view as a problem? The bisexualness, I accept and understand, but it worries me because we got married so young and I feel like he will resent me if I don't open up this marriage. He is okay completely opening our marriage, which I partially get. I mean, everyone gets bored with time and sparks fade, but that also opens up doors for STDs. It can be dangerous for women, and I'm not really someone that can separate love and sex like he claims that he can. However, I feel like I'm just postponing the inevitable because he has clearly said he doesn't think he'd be happy with just us in the long run and marriage. He said if I didn't want to open our marriage, he wouldn't cheat and wouldn't leave me, so he claims, but I feel as though he will resent me. I also honestly feel as though I am beginning to resent him and this situation. Is this marriage doomed?
Yep.
Yeah. That's this. I said I was coming like, hey, caveat. I told y'all I'm gonna try to be as consistent as possible.
Be consistent.
Yeah, I have to.
Hold on, Triple X. Hold on,
no, I'm
Triple
gonna
X.
let Jay go. I just want to say that.
Go.
This one right here, man. He wants something you can't give him. That ain't no way around that. This is not the love has faded type thing or nothing like that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of relationships that come out of that have done this, have been able to survive, maybe not survive, but you say you don't think it can survive.
No, because she's those relationships that survive are comfortable doing this stuff. She's not comfortable. She's corrupting herself on a daily basis, being with this person and allowing him to do these things outside of what she's comfortable doing.
But she said he's not doing it unless she feels comfortable.
Come on now.
I'm just saying, I'm going by the letter.
She'll never be able to, okay, so like when I'll speak from a guy's perspective, if you have a woman who equally likes women as much as she likes men, then at some point in your mind, you're gonna be thinking when she's out with her friends or what she do, you don't know she like everybody. This is this woman's case. He at the gym with guys. You think like, come on, man, this is wild.
Yeah, but why would it be any different if you like men or women? If I'm in a marriage, I still am attracted to other men. I'm still attracted to men. I just don't act on it. He's attracted to men and women. He just don't act on it. So what difference does it make whether he's out there in the world or not? I'm saying, because just because we get married doesn't mean we're not attracted to other people. Still, people don't fascinate us.
Okay, but so even say this guy is attracted to men and women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he bringing that up to his female wife? Because he can't do nothing about it. If he's staying faithful to her, his attraction to men is irrelevant. It's irrelevant because he's with her.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be
honest. Women assume men like women.
Right.
My wife knows I look at other women because I'm attracted to women.
Right.
But I don't look at other men because I'm not attracted to men. Why would he have to go out of his way to let her know that if he didn't intend on acting upon it or trying to convince her that he wants to act upon it?
Okay.
Triple X.
Triple X.
He got an itch that can't be scratched.
What you say?
Yeah. I'm going to respectfully rescind what I said earlier about I never tell anybody to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a scenario she need to get out like the movie, because this is he has entered the twilight zone. Coming home to your wife talking about you dig guys is an automatic deal breaker. That, or you putting hands on the woman. In those both scenarios, she should definitely get out. You know, the chances of you know, oh yeah, I would also add him doing something to the kids too. She should definitely get out also. But yeah, those three scenarios are he's definitely broken the vows for sure. And yeah, you as a man, you don't marry a woman at face value and then spring that on her that you like dudes. That right there is scenario enough to get out.
To get out.
Yeah, that's legit reason enough to get out. Yeah, because I mean HQ, and I say this with all due respect because your man sounded like an extremely macho man, you know. But if he came home talking about he was digging some bodybuilder, like he found Simeon Panda attractive or something, yo, that shit was about to be wild.
We would have issues. We would definitely have issues on that. Aaron,
exactly.
Lifetime natural.
Yeah.
Lifetime natural.
Right. And your guy, I'm just saying that because your guy don't sound like that type of guy.
No.
Right. Yeah. But you can't, as a man, come home and expect to still be treated as a man talking like that. It's over.
What you say, Aaron? Scenario. We sticking. What should the wife do? You hear?
Leave.
She should leave.
And I don't just mean leave. Put the shuttle under tension, run up to mill power, engage afterburners. Sayonara.
Damn.
Black America, what do you say?
This is what I say. You see how when you bring the man's sexual proclivities into it, all the men say leave immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, we're trying to give the bitch grace. This is what I'm saying. Okay. We all say on that. This is a unanimous leave, right? 100%. If the dude is a booty bandit, you gotta go. Right?
He shouldn't know which way he went, or he should know which way she went.
Exactly. She should Speedy Gonzalez up out of there, right?
That's a simple scenario. That's a simple scenario. I agree with you. Because if you don't understand who you are before you get married, then you don't deserve to even be married, because you brought this whole nother thing into this relationship. And I'm supposed to deal with your whole nother lifestyle and thought. And it's not fair to bring me along. It's not fair to bring me along.
That's that Bruce Jenner stuff, man.
I'm gonna give y'all one more. Short one. It's a short one, but I'm gonna give y'all one more.
Hold on. Let me finish this up though. But one more thing. We give grace on the woman's side. The man, we get no grace. You see what I mean?
This is different, Black.
This is different.
How long? This question always applies, bro. How long are you willing to be miserable? How long?
It depends on the scenario.
This guy here is going to be miserable regardless, though. If he stays with this woman and he knows what his true desires are, he going to be miserable even if he stay with her.
Regardless.
Yes, but if you have a wife that's going out and cheating on you and getting pregnant by other dudes, you're going to be miserable. Jay, it doesn't matter. Though that thing, no pun intended, swings both ways.
Wait a minute, hold on.
That's not that scenario, though. I'm just going off the scenarios, Black.
No, wait a minute. Are you saying that when someone becomes unhappy in a marriage, they just supposed to run?
No, that's not what I'm saying, because there is going to be seasons. I don't care about your happiness, right? So there are going to be seasons where you're unhappy. If there is going to be being gay, it's no such thing as bisexual. Being gay is a thing. So he is gay. He is no longer in the class of men. All men agree on this.
That's a solid leave from all of us. But
Yes,
the other scenario was a whole
but if
nother
a woman has a baby, on a man, that's
scenario.
a solid thing too.
Stick to the scenarios. We
Yeah.
got many to go. Stick to the scenario. That's not stick to the scenario.
Right.
Yes.
So, yes, that is going to be a thing. If there is something concrete, this is concrete. Him being gay is, you can't unsee that. This is concrete. This is always going to be a thing. If something is always going to be a thing, if it's going to be a perpetually all the time happening,
Right.
it's going to always be a thing. There is no getting rid of it.
That last scenario we were talking about, that wasn't going to always be a thing where she treated her husband the way she treated him.
No, I said that too, Black, the other day. That dude that was on the thing that said his lady had a baby on him. To me, that's a no-go right there.
Yeah,
too. I agree
that's
with
an
you on
automatic disqualification.
But
I agree with you on
the
that.
other scenario,
But the scenario, the woman didn't have. She didn't say she stepped out. She didn't say she cheated. She just said she was acting shitty.
Yeah, she was
Jay,
just last
she said
scenario.
she was-
Hold on.
She said she was denying sex, and she said she was mean to him, and she said she wouldn't do anything to him. Like, how many strikes do you actually need to keep on saying, well, I got to put my helmet on and just go back on in there, win one for the Gipper?
We don't know how long.
No, I think denying sex is a different form of cheating.
Listen to the next scenario.
All right, go ahead.
Next scenario. I'm reaching out to share my experience and seek your advice on a deeply personal matter. I've been married to my wife for 16 years, and while I love her deeply, we've been living in a sexless marriage for 15 years. Wow. Ever since the birth of our second kid. Throughout our marriage, I've always felt a strong connection with her. She often expresses her love and care for me. However, whenever I try to initiate sex, I am met with excuses. I understand that she has significant challenges, including a battle with cancer and the demands of work and family life. I admire her strength and have tried to be patient and supportive during these tough times. Despite my love and patience, I can't help but feel increasingly lonely and rejected. I miss the intimacy we once shared, and I'm struggling to understand why we can't seem to reconnect on another level. I'm reaching out to see if anyone has experienced something similar or has insights on how to navigate this situation. How can I approach this topic with her in a way that fosters open communication? What steps can I take to address the emotional distance while being respectful of her feelings and experiences? Any advice or shared experiences would be greatly appreciated. I am feeling lonely and rejected. Now, Triple X, what say you?
All right.
This is a guy
who's
been in a marriage for 16 years.
Yeah.
And he ain't had sex in 15 years. Do you remember what sex is, brother?
How on earth did he even make it that long is my question. Sound like it stopped after the first year of the marriage.
Yes.
And I would say this, it sounds like this woman was never really possibly into him in the first place. Mm-hmm. You know, because people gonna have their disagreements and ups and downs, but if it's been that long, she's definitely doing something somewhere else, you know. And he need to get them kids tested. He need to do a lot, you know. Me personally, that situation and scenario is a deal breaker for me. And I hate a brother who had to even go through that a lot, you know, that definitely
even after 15 years, he put up with it for 15 years.
Black America made a great point. You know, men are built to handle, you know, just torture to a degree, you know, and I've seen similar, I won't say exactly the same, but I've seen some men live through some extremely rough stuff. Like a couple guys I know, they actually married women and later found out shortly afterwards they were BPD diagnosed, you know, and they still hung in there.
So what if he got what if your marriage is sexless and you have a conversation with your wife and say, hey wife, can I have sex outside the marriage?
For me, I'll say this. For me, I would just go ahead and dissolve the situation. You know, if it's to that point and she's like, "Don't touch me," she's not interested in me like that.
Okay.
I have to be true to myself in the situation. I would dissolve it, but everybody got their own agreements on how they would handle that.
So, Aaron, what say you? If you found yourself, what advice are you giving this man?
I don't have enough information. So any advice will be made on some presuppositions. There's some
well, this is a letter that a married man sent in, so we can only go by the advice that the information he gave us. So based on that, what would you say to this man?
So let me give you an example.
Married couples, married people.
Let me give you an example of the kind of conundrum I'm in. This cancer that she has, does it affect her sexuality, her sex drive? She had 2 children. If that cancer does affect her sexuality and the kind of depression that has been led in the wake of those kids that compound whatever impact this cancer is having on her sex drive. You see what I'm saying? Like there's nuances and details that the information he gave presents that I can't confirm, and they are very much swing. You know what I mean? They're swing facts. They make or break facts. Completely change the barometer of what's going on.
See, my thing is this: why couldn't he have the conversation, sit down and have the conversation, and find out, has he done that in 15 years? You think? I'm saying, as men, it's gonna drive you up the wall. You're gonna be crawling up the wall in 6 months or a year if you're not having sex. So I'm making assumptions. I'm assuming he's talked to her, had a conversation. She's fully recovered from the cancer. I'm assuming all of these things because it's been 15 years, depending on when the cancer was, right?
So that's why I don't assume cancer's gone away, because in 15 years, if something were going on behind closed doors, the probability of there being some evidence of that being apparent starts to creep up. And he doesn't sound like he's discovered any evidence or anything has even led him to believe there could be evidence that she's being unfaithful. Everything else about the marriage is actually quite scintillating. Right? He gave his marriage high marks except for this one thing. Marriage, the high marks are so high that this one thing lasting so long, being such a detriment to his marriage, he's still willing to work it out because it's worth being worked out. Right? What everything else has the value proposition says he needs to work this out. That's 15 crazy. Years no sex. That's a juggernaut. That's a monolith. Wow. That should be an easy decision, but everything else is eclipsing that. So I want to know what's going on in there.
So I'm wondering, why wouldn't a man, after he got to a certain extent, got to a certain time frame and knew she wasn't going to give him sex, why wouldn't he go to her and say, can I have sex somewhere else?
And if the result even if he asked that and the result is 15 years no sex, he should be next up on the catapult to launch.
That's crazy. I can't see 15 years, but it happens because I've read scenarios where this has happened, where it's been a long time before they had sex. Black America, what you say? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What I say is these are the things that you don't hear, right? You don't hear these things from men because we kind of don't complain about the stuff. You know what I mean? Like I say, I hear it, I see it on a weekly basis all the time. You don't hear it. It for one thing, it's kind of a shame when you have to tell somebody you ain't had no coochie in 45 days, let alone 15 years. It's kind of shameful. Women and men, right, think that when you get older, your sex drive go down. You don't want no more sex and this, that, and the other. Let me tell you something. Everybody that can hear me, I am 50 plus. I gotta have mine 3 or 4 times a week. At least I can't do it 2-3 times a day, maybe no more, but 3 or 4 times a week, I still have to have it. And if you're not with it, then you don't belong around me. So this gentleman, he is going to, what I tell every guy that's in this particular situation is,
so this is a real situation. This ain't no extreme situation. This is real.
No, I understand. And what I tell every man that is in this particular situation is, you need to be honest. You need to go to her and tell her you are going to start having sex with other women. The marriage is already gone sexually. Then they're going to be like, well, you don't love me and this, that, and the other. I absolutely do love you. That's why I'm coming to you and being forthright and being honest and telling you, it's not that I don't love you. I'm just going to start fucking somebody else. I'm just going to start having sex with other women. Let's see. And then that puts the ball back in the woman's court as far as to what she wants to do. You see what I mean? It's, and like Aaron said, as long as she is not medically incapacitated, you know, then I completely understand. I concur. You got to go out and go get yours. You got to. Life is just. I'm sorry. Life is just better with sex. It's more fun with sex. So
no, I was finna say, Jay, are you there? No. Aaron, what do you say to that? Respond. Can you respond?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with him. If this is just 15 years of withheld amorous Congress, then yeah, man. You're next up on the catapult for launch. You're airborne in 30, bro. You're over. And it's not it's not an affront to the institution of marriage. Withholding sex for 15 years is an affront to the institution of marriage. It is a abject failure of adhering to your duty, right?
All right.
But it's so hyperbolic. 15 years no sex plus cancer plus all of the other metrics in the marriage are rated A or at least B plus. That's a perfect storm for what the heck is what I can't. Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah,
if I knew more, I'd be able to tell you. But that's just
that would be my first thought. Is we got to do something. We cannot just be roommates, and that's roommate territory. It just is roommate territory. We cannot be in a roommate situation.
Let's go down the path that it is medically connected, right? Because I think we're all starting to agree that if it's 15 years of just simply withholding, that is grounds for exit, right? So let's assume that the cancer is for impacting an area that really has an influence on the woman's, sexual anatomy, or the treatment is goofy, and like there's some wicked madness going on there. All right, well, then you got to have a conversation. If you're not going to, the conversation about other people can be brief. Hey, man, can we entertain other people? No. All right. And I understand why. Well, what's the next thing we can look at and entertain? Alternative sex practices. You know what I mean? Like with a sex counselor. You know what I mean? You start getting role play, get playful with it. You know what I mean? Start thinking about technology, something. I mean, you're clutching at straws here. You don't have the luxury to be traditional and romantic. You got to start getting creative and innovative.
Right.
Because nobody's at fault here. We're dealing with an anomalous catastrophe.
Right.
She's suffering.
Ouch. This is the scenario. Even though
you understand? So the marriage needs to stay intact, especially there's 2 kids. How old are they? Right? And what kind of example are you setting?
Right.
But if everything else is true, that this marriage is great, it's an airtight situation, then that's worth divergent solutions to maintain the integrity of it, of course.
Now, I said that was the last scenario, but this will be a retelling of this first scenario because it's a man's scenario. No, well, I'm not going to say that. It was the first scenario I read, but it's short, okay? It's about a man thing. And you guys weren't here. Jay was here, and he was the only one to answer. But I want you all to take on this too for men, real quick. We have been married for 13 years, right out of high school, and we met and married not long after that. I'm 35, he's 37. About 8 months ago, we went out to eat with our 2 children. My oldest child wanted to get up and walk around and play in the restaurant. My husband started getting frustrated and leaned in with an aggressive voice telling our son to stop standing up and acting up in the restaurant. You don't just start walking around a busy restaurant for no reason. That's what my husband said to my son. But he was getting so agitated and angry, it felt like people were looking at us. So I told my husband, wait a minute, hold on. So I told him to calm down and stop talking to our son like that.
What?
Wait a minute, hold on. My husband was more worked up now and said, "Don't tell me what to do." He turned to our sons and said, "Your mother would be nothing but a minimum wage hairdresser if it wasn't for me." He said that loud in the restaurant. I just grabbed my purse, got up, and I left. The next day, he apologized. But I really think it's the straw that broke the camel's back. I work full-time. He works full-time. I manage the household, make everything correct in the household. He brings 80K in. I bring in 50K, 60K. I'm cordial, but I'm not interested in spending my life with him anymore. Thoughts?
She needs to leave hay bales alone because apparently you bringing straw and breaking camels' backs. You ain't no farmer, lady.
What'd you say in this scenario, Jay? Say what you said in this scenario. What did you think was wrong with what he did?
I gotta say all this again.
No, you just got to summarize what you said, what you thought this scenario was like.
Well, to surmise what I said there's some underlying stuff in this that they didn't have the kids in line before this scenario even happened. That for some reason the kids don't respect their dad or their mom in order to run around the restaurant in the way they was doing it.
You got kids?
Yeah. Do I have kids? Yeah, the kids are 12 and 14 though. His kids are 12 and 14.
Okay, but you got kids.
Yeah, I got kids.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mike. They.
So you thought it was a man. Jay thought it was the man's disrespect. The man was disrespected all the way across the board. What say you, Aaron?
No. He was fathering. He was imparting discipline on a kid that was headed for the edge of the cliff. He postured himself. He delivered a message in a tone to a kid to let the kid know you're on thin ice. When it breaks, you'll find me under it.
But don't touch my baby. Don't touch my baby.
What else did I say? HQ.
Wait.
Hold on. I want to hear what they got.
HQ.
I say, don't touch my baby in the restaurant. What you say?
What precise? Check. Everybody get your coats. Come on, get in the car. Let's go home. We're going home. Put this shit in the doggy bag. You eat it when you get home. We have a microwave and an oven. There's an air fryer too.
Right.
The fries will survive. We get home. Now, we get home. Kids, go to your room. You? Have you taken leave of all of your senses and reason? Or are you playing games?
I knew Aaron was going to say that. I knew you was going to say that. Black America, what say you?
All right. So I have something called the daddy voice. And for every man that's a father, we all know what the daddy voice is. Your voice gets a little, it doesn't get really obtrusive. It gets growly, like sit your ass down. Be quiet. It changes the inflection. It comes from your stomach and your nuts, right? And it makes my kids cry. I didn't have to whoop my kids. I didn't have to whoop my kids a lot because I had the daddy voice. I learned it from my dad. A dad that does not fuck around, or when you know your dad is fed up. Hey, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I went too far. I went too far. Holy shit. So the wife has no place on what a man is going to do to any kid, especially his son. You absolutely can't tell me what to do with my son. I will hang this motherfucker off of a cliff by his pinky toe. This is my son. Anything that I do to correct my son is going to be for the best. It's not going to be to his detriment. Up until like I brung you in this world, I take you out, because we can recognize as men, my son is capturing all of the cats in the neighborhood and killing them. I have a bad kid. I need to do something about this. If I can't correct that behavior, we want somebody else to correct that behavior.
Okay, so when she comes in, she said, "Stop touching my baby. Don't tell my baby what to do." How do you respond to her?
Backhander. No, I'm just playing.
Boy.
I tell her baby what to do, and then I tell the waiter to bring me the check, and I tell her ass to get in the car if she doesn't feel like walking.
It's time to go. It's time to either that. If she feels that comfortable, my dad used to say something a long time ago. He said, "Don't be disrespected by man, woman, beast, nor child." Right? Respect goes up. Right. Respect doesn't go down. I don't gotta respect no kid. I don't gotta respect no crackhead. I don't gotta respect no prostitute. Respect goes up. Respect does not go down. It is a food chain. It's man, woman, and children. Don't think you're gonna jump up here on my level, because I am going to bite you. It's not gonna be nice.
I told Jay, my husband would say, "Now, before we go into the restaurant, you know what time it is. If you jump out of pocket, I'm bringing you out of the restaurant, and you're going to come back in, and your face is going to be red, but it's going to be straight when you sit back down. You ain't going to act up in public." So I already knew from the beginning, he's the disciplinarian. I don't have any say in those kind of decisions. And I stand down when these things happen. I never got in the middle of that. You think him saying what he said to her? He said, "Your mother is," what did he say? "She would be a minimum wage hairdresser if it wasn't for me." Address that, what he said to the wife, though, Aaron.
He was wrong and he was justified.
Explain.
He was wrong. You don't say that. It's disrespectful. I don't care how true it is. It has nothing to do with the circumstances. However, he jumped off the rail and put him in a place that he don't need to be. And if that's as bad as it gets, I think she should be thankful, because it could have been worse. And now I really got to say he's wrong. This one don't leave that big a mark.
Okay.
And if you're interested in not leaving marks, stay on the rail.
Black America, you said in the middle of the restaurant, you said to your wife, to your sons, you turned to your sons and you said, "She wouldn't be nothing but a minimum wage hairdresser if it wasn't for me."
She is an habitual line pusher, and he has waited too long. She has been pushing, and we all have what they call it when you poking the bear with men is something where you keep nagging them. She has been pushing. She's a habitual line pusher.
A tolerance threshold.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We as men, we give you guys grace, but it does get a time where you get fed up. Men don't just haul off and smack you the first time. Hey, stop that. Hey, don't do that. Hey, all right, smack. Oh, he hit me. He's abusive. He told you 85 times previously to stop your behavior. So now he smacked you. He's within, to me, he's within his rights. You don't just want to leave. So now I'ma just leave. I'm not going to leave. I'm finna smack you on your ass to get you some act right. I can smack you on your ass and make it hard for you to sit down for 3 days. So every time you sit down, you think about it. Right? I'm not talking about, huh?
On the
3 days?
What?
For 3 days.
Jay, a nice, good, hard smack on a woman's ass or thighs, bro. They will think about that shit for a long time. And yeah, exactly. You don't agree with it. I dig it. A lot of guys don't agree with it.
Right.
But then your woman keeps on acting out of line and out of pocket. It's one thing I also tell men is you can't come back from when a woman uses the term bitch ass nigga, right? If a woman calls you a bitch ass nigga, you know what? You have lost all respect and all control. You know what? I will take a bitch over my knee so fucking quick. Don't do that with me.
My mother said, fix your face. That would be fix your face. Yeah.
And I will take you over my knee so quick. And then if I gotta go to jail for a day or 2 days or a week, I am fine. I am just that type of nigga. I am fine with it. The only place I ever get to read is in jail. I don't give a fuck. But I'm going to get out. You're not.
Wow, brother. That just blew me away, man.
Stop talking. You talking 2 point crazy over there. That Triple X talk. You talk.
Let him finish up. Let him finish up, HQ.
I am telling you, men have become too soft to where you can no longer garner the respect from the people you will give your fucking life for.
I see.
It doesn't matter anything what you do. Me, Jay, Aaron, and even Lex, I know he ain't married or whatever. He the playboy on the thing. We have people that we are actually going to give our fucking lives for. We are going to live, kill, and die for the people who we are responsible for. We go to work for the people we are responsible for. And most of us, don't have 5 pair of shoes, but HQ, you got a closet. My girls got troughs of shoes. They got fucking bins with shoes in them. Right. I got 3 to 5 pair of shoes. I don't do this shit for me. Everything that's done is for you. But it's certain shit that you cannot do. And I am going to, I'm a correct it. I'm going to get mad where I get down. I'm going to get down where I get mad at. I'm not happy.
What you say, Triple X?
I don't tolerate no disrespect. First and foremost. So
you said to her, the scenario was you said to her, your mother would be nothing but a minimum wage hairdresser if it wasn't for me.
Well, I'm gonna say this. He shouldn't. I would never say anything like that, whether that was true or not. I would never say anything like that in front of the kids or in public or whatever. That's wild. So he out of line for that. Number 2, ain't no woman gonna tell me don't hit my kids and those are kids. You damn that. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn if I'm married to a chick and that ain't my biological kid. That's why I'm the wrong one to be a stepdad, because I'm telling you right now, I don't play like that. I damn sure don't play about no disrespect. So, hey, it is what it is. Like, I agree with Aaron. It's time to roll. It's time to go. I'm throwing that money at the waitress. Get your ass back in this Hummer. Let's go. Get your ass back in this Hummer. You muted, HQ. You muted.
So, those are our scenarios that we gonna have once a week. Hopefully we can get some normal everyday people who want to call in, because you can call in and present a scenario and then we will respond to the scenario, how we would go about it, not how we get emotionally involved. We want concrete examples about what someone would do if this scenario came up. Now, I tried to read scenarios that would be logical or real life scenarios. The sexless marriage, disrespect in the marriage, not letting the man be the man. All these were real life scenarios that I thought would occur on a everyday basis. So that is going to be a part of the Wednesday show, where we have the marriage show, where we have people give us letters, call in, give us scenarios, and then we have our take on what you would do or what you should do as a wife or a husband in that marriage, in that relationship, with kids, without kids, however it goes. That's the reason why it's called marriage. What people do when they're married, the scenarios. So give me your final thoughts on the show. Please give me feedback. I would love to get feedback, because I prefer this type of show where we have different opinions on how people relate to marriage, how people navigate marriage, how people can take this information from married people, because we've been married, we've been in relationships, all of us on the panel, and that's what I want to do. Married people actually talking about scenarios. Jay, give me your final.
I'd say learn how to tell yourself the truth first, and not live in the reality that you think the way it should be, but live in the reality that's presented to you. Mm-hmm. And also learn your thresholds. You can't sit in misery your whole life just to make somebody else happy or try to appease somebody else.
But there's also scenarios in which you have to learn how to give grace.
And it's going to be different for every individual. Each person, like somebody, I might have a threshold. Somebody else hears me say what I'm dealing with, and they be like, I wouldn't deal with that. But that's not your threshold. I might have a higher threshold for this specific instance that I'm in. But you also have to be like honest with yourself. Like Black said, the question he asked, how long are you willing to live miserably? Because some people could live miserably today, don't live no more.
Because 15 years without sex is miserable.
And that's wild.
Oh yeah.
That's wild. And like Aaron said, I wanted more context on that scenario, because
the 15 years.
Yeah, the 15 years, because she could have had postpartum after that, which is unfortunate. She could have been going through a whole kind of hormonal thing.
That's a great point.
And then after that, she say, and this is a little bit personal for me, say she had an IUD put in, and then something happened, and then that led to some kind of cervical cancer, and then she had to have a hysterectomy and stuff like that, and then now she had to go through chemo, and then now her hormones is not the same, her body's the same, so she don't have a sexual desire. So it's nothing against him per se, that man, but she just doesn't. It's not her. She's not even thinking about that at that point. She don't even have that desire. Don't even build up in her. So he's suffering in the way he wants that affection from his wife, and he can't get it from her. And then it's some part of her, I don't even know. She don't want to give it to him because she don't even feel that way. So what does he do, man? That's a hard 15 years,
here's
man.
a question I got for you. I got a question for you three guys. Do you consider that if you had a wife and she didn't want to have sex and blah, 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 and then she came to you and she said, I understand don't want to have sex, and you can have sex outside of marriage, would you do it?
Yeah, respectfully.
Aaron?
You asking me would I if I got a home pass?
Yeah.
Because she's checked out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna like it, but I mean, if that's what we're dealing with, all right. I'm not gonna compromise the marriage.
You ain't gonna compromise the marriage. Triple?
Yeah. Can you summarize that again for me quick again?
Oh, if I can't have sex, I'm your wife, I can't have I don't want to have sex.
Yeah.
And I told you you're
That's
gonna
different.
have sex.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think
I don't want.
Go ahead, Aaron. You got to say something, man?
Can't.
Can't.
Or
All right, can't. I'm not going nowhere. I don't care what kind of hall pass you give me. Don't want to. You sure about this hall pass, right? Okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's got to be respect, and I think Jay made a great point because we don't know. We don't know enough. We don't know if it's a medical issue. Yeah, and if it's something like that, like she can't do it, then no, I'm not gonna just go do dirt.
Now,
You know, yeah.
Now, turn the scenario around. You can't have sex.
But I can still lick my eyebrows.
Hey.
I can speak in tongues.
Enough said. Y'all crazy. Enough said. Give me your final thoughts, Aaron. But I need feedback for the show. Do we want to have this type of show where we have married people come up, address the scenarios that people present, and then we give them feedback on that? Or is there a different way? Addressing and give me the information in the chat if you have other ideas, because I like this kind of scenario, because I've been married for 30 years and there's stuff that surprised me, you know, when I hear it from people all the time. I wasn't in a sexless marriage. My husband was chasing me when I was 50, right? So I don't know anything about the sexless thing, but I would love to hear from people who might have experienced that or who are experiencing that kind of thing, or the disrespect that they find in a marriage where a woman is undermining the husband's power with his sons, or the man is undermining the female's power with her daughters. I would love to have scenarios in which we could talk about those things. So, Aaron, I'm sorry, your final thoughts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Everything you just said is important, and studying people's perspective. But what's equally as important is like this show, for example, reminds me of the Twilight Zone or Electric Dreams or Stranger Things or X-Files. It is extremely unlikely, or it's completely galactically nonsensical, or just utterly bizarre. Right. And a lot of people spend a lot of time looking at statistics, considering the majority, and focusing on studying of the probability and ignoring the improbabilities. But here's the thing: everybody lives individual lives that are all very different. We all have different fingerprints. There's no two are the same. So studying the bizarre will help you be able to make decisions with things that are common, and you'll be prepared to deal with something that is unprecedented and never has been seen before. You got to expect that to come. If you don't expect that, then you think we're all the same thing. We're not. We're all very different. It can and will go left in ways that your imagination could never create. Be prepared for the things you could not prepare for.
But I always say that the marriage is a good institution or a good dynamic if you have the right two people. If you have the right two people who want to make that dynamic work. These scenarios, these were kind of out there, but and they were exaggerated, but they do happen. Some of these do happen. So I wanted to pick those specific ones and say, okay, they might be out of the realm, but in some form or fashion, some of these things happen. Thank you, Aaron.
Everything's happened for the first time. So even if it's never happened before, who's to say you're not going to be the first one to experience it? Be ready.
Absolutely. Triple X, sir.
Yeah.
Your final thoughts on the marriage show. Should it be tailored a different way, or are the letters a scenario running good enough?
All right, I got some feedback. It's just I say it respectfully.
You always got feedback. You always got some feedback. What?
Maybe you don't want to hear it. Just shut up, huh, Lex?
That's okay. Go ahead. I can take it.
All right, yeah. I like the show. Maybe scenarios could be, and again, respectfully, those guys' opinions will probably mean a little bit more, will mean more than mine because they're actually married. But I don't mind offering my opinions on it too. But I'll say this: maybe try to pick scenarios that are a little bit more fleshed out, so we got a little bit more data to work with on them.
Okay.
And and I say, as much as I love this show, I guess the visual of laughing at that Kendra Ashley stuff, maybe, you know, do some of these and, you know, maybe have a couple of videos of those on the back end or something. Mix it up just a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. I got you.
Yeah, but it's good though. It's good.
Black America, thank you for coming up. Thank you guys for being the test pilots for this goofy show. We building it and we flying, okay? We just building and we flying. We just trying to find something that people like to watch, to listen to, and to respond to. It just is what it is. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming up. Thank you for coming up. Thank you very much for coming up. Ladies in the audience, ladies, we got to have you ladies come up and talk sometime. I always get the men. The men are not afraid. We need the ladies to come up and have conversations. You guys hit the like button, do all those good things. Tomorrow is the ladies show. We're going to have the ladies show, and we're going to have scenarios for the ladies. I need you ladies to show up. I need at least 3 or 4 of you guys to get on the panel. So we're going to have women scenarios that women are going to respond to. I want you ladies to come representing. We got all the men. The men will represent. I need the ladies to come out and represent. The ladies. So thank you for showing up for our first married show. But the ladies show is going to be the ladies, because I want the ladies only to come on the panel. And we talk about scenarios in which ladies address issues. The ladies only, right? And these are fun scenarios. We're not going to be hard hit, but we would love to hear your input. Single or married, we want to hear what the ladies have to say. So thank you all for showing up. Please hit the like button. Please share. Do all of those wonderful things. So we got to go out of here with a bang. And I thank you all for showing up. I thank you. I like this show. I actually like this show because I think we can help people. Even though the scenarios may seem out of whack, people would not have written them if nobody would have experienced them. So I thank you all for showing up. Please be here tomorrow, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, ladies. 6 o'clock, ladies.